Open wide, Aaron, here comes the applesauce. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. It is The Walking Dead, Season 5, Episode 11. This one's called The Distance, and the distance kept getting bigger between the spoon and Aaron's mouth because, yes, he probably likes putting things in his mouth, but not applesauce.
No, not applesauce, but after watching this episode, I think I want to put bleach in my mouth. Absolutely sucked. Was it better than the previous one? A little bit, but it's
The
two.
previous one was a spoon with nothing on it.
It's two back-to-back episodes that really has not offered very much, and you just don't know why they weren't combined into one.
Yeah, like, I mean, when you're looking at like 85 minutes here and a good 70 minutes of nothing. After, like, what, the last episode contributed 2 minutes or something with him just showing up.
85 minutes of boring characters walking around, feeling sorry for themselves, and I mean that is pretty much it. That is it.
That is it. Damn it. That is it. We're at the barn.
Yeah, so we start the episode where Maggie and Sasha, they bring Aaron into the barn and they introduce him to the rest of the group. Then automatically the group is pretending that they are somehow fucking high almighty, and they take Aaron's shit, and then Daryl with his crossbow runs out and he's looking, searching for people. I fucking despise Daryl Dixon, right?
I think he's a cringy bastard.
It's like
a forced cool action scene.
But he's a tracker. Fucking track fucking Aaron's dick up his ass or something, right? I'm sick of Daryl Dixon. I fucking despise him. No, but I think it sums up.
You know, Aaron looks like LA Knight.
A wee bit, but I think it kind of sums up the type of people that watch The Walking Dead and they think that Daryl Dixon was better than Mel. I mean, Daryl Dixon's a boring bastard, man. He really fucking is. Offers absolutely nothing. The guy is so cringe, man. He's not been good. I would say his last good season was probably season 3, but it wasn't. He was better in season 1 and 2. But just what we've seen since then I don't like it. All he does is kiss Rick's ass.
Pretty much since they found the prison, he's been up Rick's arse. Like Aaron would want to be. I mean, that's the reality we're dealing with here.
Yeah, so he goes out to check, and Rick basically holds Aaron hostage. Then he punches him in the face after Aaron is basically handing out a hand here, a gesture. Come join our group, come join our community. And Rick responds with a punch to the face. I mean, they already took Aaron's weapons. He was standing there outnumbered 15-1, but here, Goody Two Shoes, Mr. Officer Friendly Rick just turns up, punches him in the face, and I just don't get it how Rick can do this shit and still be viewed as the good guy, still be viewed as the protagonist. It's almost like there's a different set of rules for Rick. He can murder people and basically abuse people and beat people up and bully people, and he's a great guy, but anyone else does it and they're like a scumbag who deserves to die.
All he needed to do is point a gun at him here to shut him up. I get that's what Rick's going for, right? Aaron's talking shite in his eye, so he punched him.
Does he really? No, does he even need to point a gun at him?
He doesn't, but I mean, pointing a gun at someone is less threatening, I think, than actually walking up and punching him.
What the fuck? I wouldn't go that far. Like,
no,
unless it's like Mike Tyson coming up and punching you. Anyway, Rick
could knock it.
Rick knocks him out. He wakes up, and then Aaron's like not even bothered. He goes, "Oh, that's a pretty good right hook you have there." I mean, I don't understand.
You want to take it to my ass, buddy?
This guy is so obsessed with getting this group to come back with him to Alexandria, and it's like, look at the way they've treated you. Like you surrendered. You could have attacked them. You made yourself known. You walked into the barn. You're outnumbered. You gave up your weapons, and they've abused you, and they're holding you hostage. They're tying you up, and you're still adamant. You're still desperate to come and get this group to come back to your place. Like, I just didn't understand that. Rick sends out everyone apart from him and Judith to go and investigate, to go and see who else is out there with Aaron, because they find a flare gun, and they believe that they believe that there's people out there and it's an ambush, it's a trap. So they go out. Rick says they've got an hour to come back, and if they're not back, he's gonna put a knife in Aaron. And it's like they've got a 3-mile journey and then a 3 miles back. So therefore, I mean, Rick's expecting them to do 6 miles in an hour.
Like, if you average 3 miles an hour, right, that means you're doing a mile every 20 minutes. Therefore, you'd have to do a mile every 10 minutes just for this to work, and then you have to get to the car and bring supplies back. Like, they brought all the supplies back. The Walking Dead doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, we were talking about Rick being a good guy, right?
Plus, they're exhausted, so it's not like you know what I mean? They're not going to be walking at a good speed, good pace.
No, exactly, but we're talking about Rick being a good guy, right? And yeah, the offensive terms has obviously made this group think, oh, we can't trust people, which I think's fair enough. Like, Rick being, not too keen to jump in bed with this guy, not literally, because Aaron would probably like that, but here, you get it. It makes sense. But this is the same guy who ran down a police officer like 3 episodes ago for no reason. Yeah, he was running away, but that was cold-blooded, man. See if he tell Aaron, oh, I see, like last month, we were in Atlanta, and this guy ran away from us because we had him hostage. And instead of, trying to stop him, I run him over, he broke his neck, and I walked up and shot him. Would Aaron be like, like a fucking seal clapping
Well,
away?
it depends how he delivers it. If he said I rammed into the back of him, then Aaron would be like, oh, yes,
buddy.
You can come back to Alexandra anytime.
Eric, buddy. Yeah.
But anyway, so they do find the vehicles, they come back, and they all believe that Aaron's telling the truth. Also, there's a scene where Aaron tells Rick, look, this baby's crying, there's applesauce in my bag. Rick doesn't want to give Judith the applesauce because he thinks that it could be poisoned or whatnot, but Aaron says he wouldn't poison a baby. Rick's like, right, well, you test it first, and then Aaron tells some sob story about how he doesn't like applesauce. His mother used to try and force feed him it because she was confused back in the day, basically saying that she was like a anti-homophobic or whatever.
No, she was homophobic. She was trying to change her son. She was trying to make him big and strong and straight. No, right, this is fucking embarrassing, right? Normally you're used to torture scenes where people are burning people, drilling them, not the way Aaron would like it, but you get where I'm coming from, right? See here, Rick's trying to put this plastic kid spoon in this guy's mouth and he's moving his face like he's trying to drill his fucking eyes out. See when Merle kidnapped Maggie, right, and Glenn, they had the kids' food and all, and then Michonne took it. Could you imagine if Merle got kidnapped by someone, right? And he's like, there's applesauce in there if you need it. And the guy starts trying to feed Merle. He's like, no, my mum tried to feed me that. I didn't like it when I was younger. This was some of the cringiest, fucking gayest shit I've ever seen.
And it's just this reaction to eating applesauce. I mean, fuck me.
You would be led to believe that Rick is force feeding him
shite.
Yeah, literal fucking shite.
Shite with maggots in it or something. It's like, what the hell? I think you're in a pretty bad... he's in a pretty bad spot here, and this guy's worried about fucking having applesauce rammed in his mouth.
They added this dramatic music. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Yeah. Honestly.
Anyway, they get back and they kind of come to the conclusion that, right, okay, we're going to give it a chance. Michonne speaks up. She wants to give it a chance. But they won't allow Aaron to take them back. So Rick wants to find out, he wants to know the exact address of this place. And why should Aaron give it up? Because think if the shoe was on the other foot. Look at Glenn. Remember, he wouldn't give up the prison.
Yep, exactly. And it's kind of... I know, obviously, Aaron's not getting tortured here, even though you argue the applesauce is torture. I don't know, but...
Oh, you didn't mean not getting tortured. I mean, he can get beat up and he's being held hostage.
True. Oh, yeah, but it's not...
But based on what these people have done and the way Rick's treated them, it's like, why would Aaron want to give up his community in case they go and do the exact same thing?
True. I don't know what they did in the comics, right? But I'm willing to assume it wasn't this bad, man. Like we said, man, they're right to be wary of the guy, but I think that the extreme lengths that Rick was going to was fucking ridiculous.
See, at this point, I just don't understand why Aaron is so obsessed to get Rick and his group to go back. Yeah. Oh, but you're good people. I mean, Rick's not really acting like a good person the way he's treating this guy. So Aaron eventually, he just won't give them the place. So he's like, right, you know what, we'll take this road and then I'll direct you for there. But Rick's like, you're not driving. So they go, Aaron, Michonne, Rick and Glenn, they go in the car, everyone else goes in the RV. They run into walkers because they wouldn't go the route Aaron wanted to. Aaron basically kind of says you can't go the other route because it's not been cleared. Rick didn't listen to him, and then they ran into walkers. So this is Rick's fault. Aaron sees a flare gun go off, and basically this signals that Eric's in trouble. So Aaron shits himself and he boots the door down into Michonne's face. He runs off. Everyone gives chase to him. Rick and Michonne get caught. They get separated from Glenn. Rick has a walker approaching them from about 15 feet away and decides to shoot a flare gun into its head. It's just so fucking unnecessary. Surely that flare gun should be used as a last resort. If you have absolutely no weapons, you're pinned down and it's a split second to save your life. But Rick, a cop, someone that should be preserving ammo, is just needlessly spraying at zombies, shooting at zombies that are quite a decent distance away from him. Just makes fucking no sense whatsoever here. I mean, you expect this from like a Eugene, but not a Rick.
Yeah, like Rick is the last guy I would predict to have done this.
Wasting ammo, then wasting a flare gun.
No, it was done right. It was done for a cool visual. Was it a cool visual? Yeah, but people think like shooting walkers in a cool way is like great storytelling. It's fucking not.
All it does is to me is ruin Rick's character a little bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No,
I'm just thinking, well, that was dumb, Rick.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Like,
it's
you might need that flare gun. You might need that bullet. Glenn.
No, it is though, right? It's silly.
No, it's just not necessary. It's just to show. Oh, but we want to include this cool Walker kill, so we're gonna go against what Rick would actually do in this situation, just so we can have a cool Walker kill. Screw that shit.
Why not have it like it gets close to him and it's up against him and he reaches for the nearest gun, he shoots it that way, like right from the
that
knife.
would make sense, but not the way he done it. Glenn finds Aaron, he's getting attacked, he saves him, then Glenn says, look, you can run if you want, I've got bigger fish to fry. Aaron's like, no, I heard what you said, we gotta stick together. Basically, Aaron's been listening to them the entire time because they had microphones and stuff like that and they weren't too happy. Then Aaron and Glenn save Michonne and Rick. Aaron's like, well, here, you can tie me up if you want, but hurry about it. And Rick's like, nah. So they run to the flare, and obviously the rest of the group's there. Your Daryl and your Abraham and everyone else basically is there. So they get there. Eric is the one that shot off the flare. That's the other guy for Alexandra. He's busted his ankle. Don't know how this happened. We then get a gay scene with Eric and Aaron and
this. No, you know what? Right? Know what the proof is? This is woke. These are two newly introduced characters, and they get like a full 5-minute fucking scene here. All we need to see here was Aaron going in and like being like sympathetic for his lover, and Rick watches over it for like 10 seconds. It does the exact same job.
Yeah, I feel if it was a straight couple, like it wouldn't have got this sort of.
No, but that's exactly what it is. See, when people complain about like things like this being in TV shows, obviously today it's heightened, right? But it's like the exposure it gets. See, for like the history of like television and movies, there's always been minorities and like things like this. But it's like the lens it gets put on. You know what I mean? It's under the microscope now.
It is under the microscope. Anyway, Rick looks on. Eric's like, hey, I'm Eric. And Rick just looks on. And
I don't like gays.
Eric's probably thinking at this point, he really doesn't like gays. But in reality, Rick just doesn't seem to like anybody that's not part of his group. Then Rick's like, okay, if we're going to spend the night here, I want you sleeping over there. Then Aaron finally grows a set and steps up to Rick. And he's like, if you want to keep me away from him tonight, then you're going to have to shoot me. And then Glenn kind of speaks to Rick and gets Rick to negotiate. He's like, nah, look, come on. This guy is he's unarmed, he can't do anything. They sleep together. Next night they wake up, they make their way to Alexandria. The RV breaks down, and pretty much the only reason it broke down was because Glenn needed to point out that it needs a battery change, and basically he knows where there is a battery because Dale showed him in season 2.
And also we got Abraham seeing the monument. He was going to fall to his knees, but he was driving. So.
Yeah, we also seen that. Plus, earlier in the episode, we seen Abraham come across some spaghetti hoops, and then he asked Rosita, did you think I was going to harm you back there? So I don't know. I don't really know what that happened. Is Abraham took a fit of rage or something in this group before, or?
I guess it's more like the flashback episode we got with him where his kids were scared.
Yeah, but Rosita didn't see that.
True, but maybe he thinks that's what she thinks because his wife fought like that. I don't know.
Possibly. So then they get to Alexandria and the group all just get out and they've got their guns. And then you have Carol walking towards the wall with her gun out. And she says to Rick, you might have been wrong back there, but you were right. So it's basically Carol saying, nah, you were right to be a dick and abuse this guy and not trust him even though we had 15-1 on him because I'm just like you, Rick. I'm violent. So that was pretty much it.
She pretty much did nothing this episode.
Yeah, taking a back seat. They walk to the walls and that's it. The episode ends and I'm just thinking, right, hold on here. These last 2 episodes basically probably could have been condensed into one. It's been a poor, really has been poor for the last 4 or 5 episodes, I want to say. I just think it has went downhill. I think the Hunter stuff at the beginning was exciting. It was fun. Since then, though, and I tell you what, Slab Town was actually all right compared to some of the episodes we've had since. And
absolutely.
I know a lot of people shit on it because it just had Beth in it, and people tend to not like Beth, especially Trev's Chantu, but that guy's a retard, so I don't really care what he thinks. I mean, he's got a lot of shitey opinions. If you want to hear what he's got to say, then check out his channel. But he might be the biggest Walking Dead person on YouTube, but to me, he's just the biggest.
I don't think he is the biggest Walking Dead person these days. I bet you're someone else there getting more views off the Walking Dead.
Well, it's no fucking us. It's no us. But yeah, slightly better than the last episode. Not great. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. It was just.
I mean, from an ending point of view, it's like it leaves on the cliffhanger of like, oh, what awaits behind these walls? And I guess that's kind of intriguing for the next episode, but we all know Alexandra's full of fucking jobbers.
I don't think I've seen a truly awful episode of The Walking Dead yet, but they're not good.
I would say the last episode was like, it was borderline awful because nothing happened.
Yeah, I mean, I'm giving this a 4 out of 10. Look, it was...
I'll give a 4 out of 10.
It below average. It was poor. I'll go poor. Right? It was a poor episode.
It was poor. Anyway, guys, that will do it for this episode. The Distance.